This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com.
Let's talk about the Dudleys. They're going to retain the U.S. Or the WCW tag titles and win the WWF tag titles. So they've united the belts here when they beat Matt and Jeff Hardy in a cage match in 15 minutes and 45 seconds. There's some crazy spots here, including Matt Hardy doing a Russian leg sweep on Devon off the top rope while the cage balanced him. Then we would see Bubba do a Bubba bomb off the top rope with Jeff. A lot of history between these two tag teams, and this is a war. 15:45. Meltzer dug it. 3.25 stars. And Matt and Bubba are gonna climb to the top. Matt escapes, leaves Jeff in by himself. Jeff gets pounded on, but makes a comeback, climbs back over the top with Bubba laid out on the table. And instead of climbing over, does a swanton off the top of the cage. Of course, Bubba moves. So they do this table explosion spot and he's pinned. Jeff wasn't seriously hurt, although from a logic standpoint, Jeff came across like a real idiot having the match won, but instead blowing it by jumping off the cage. Jeff did a stretcher job with the idea of selling it to keep him off TV. 3.25 stars. What do you think of that creative where you've got this daredevil? He could just simply climb down and win the match, but instead he opts to make the big impression, even at the expense of winning the match.
Well, the cage is there as a elaborate prop to facilitate the spots that we just talked about.
Yeah.
And so I guess what I'm saying is those guys would have had a phenomenal match with unique creativity. Bubba Dudley's got a great mind for wrestling. He's a very strong-willed, can be stubborn. That's cool. But Bubba and Devon and the Hardys, they had danced so many times together that maybe the cage was there just to facilitate the spots and to perhaps make the match different. But I thought that maybe we were right at the end of that rivalry. People have seen everything, the TLCs and the return TLCs and all these things, Conrad. But two great tag teams, without a doubt. I just don't know that the cage is needed. But I enjoyed. I've never had a match with the Dudleys or the Hardys that I didn't enjoy calling. They just always delivered the goods. They're all total pros. And for Jeff to be willing to do these career-threatening moves, was just extraordinary. He's almost too giving, and he dodged the bullet on that night because he could have very easily been destroyed physically in that match. Thank God he wasn't, but it certainly was a possibility. But I love those guys. They were great soldiers. I enjoyed Bubba on Busted Open Radio throughout the week on Sirius XM. And you can, if you listen, which you should, they directed a great job. It's like you'll hear Bubba's intellect, his breaking down bookings and matches. You might not agree with all of it, but he's got a reason for why he feels the way he does. And to me, that's very, 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 very valuable. Just still saying, the creator killed us. I got screwed or whatever. I don't get that with Bubba. Bubba's a smart guy. So I'm sure he had a whole lot to do with getting this match laid out. And then you got Matt and Jeff, they're willing to do anything. And Devon's going to mirror what Bubba wants to do. So it was really good. I thought it was really good. I thought it was, Meltzer had it 3.25 stars. I thought it was a little bit better than that, quite frankly.
It is a little ironic too, after that big spectacular bump that we would see Jeff take. It's actually Matt who winds up getting legitimately injured here. The Dudleys knock him into the cage and they nearly knock out his front 2 teeth and badly split his gums here. But thankfully, everybody's okay. I get it. It's a wrestling podcast, but he's saving us money on our mortgage. Do you really trust this process? The reviews don't lie. 5-star review after 5-star review. We make it fast, we make it easy, and it's no cost or obligation. Give us a shot to earn your business. I'm telling you, you'll be glad you did, especially if you like keeping more of your own money. You don't need perfect credit or money out of your pocket. So what are you waiting for? Hurry to savewithconrad.com.
Ain't ballet, Connie.
Just to put some perspective here, the tag champs for the WWF in 1998 were the New Age Outlaws, and the tag champs for WCW were Rick Steiner and Kenny Chaos. So these two tag teams or divisions have developed a little differently. Next, we would see Test win a battle royal in 7 minutes and 40 seconds. Basically a rush job, according to Meltzer. He would say not awful, but no better than a usual battle royal. And Sean Stasiak was actually dumped out before the bell rang to even start the match, but no one's complaining about that, he says. Taz came in late, got a big pop. Hugh Morris and Chavo Jr. also came in late. It came down to Test and Billy Gunn, of all people, with Test kicking Gunn over the top for the win. So Test had two matches here. He loses earlier, but boy, he comes back and wins the battle royal. It's only a 1-star, but what could you expect with a battle royal? But clearly Vince saw money in Test.
Yeah, he did. Well, Test had he had Vince's look.
Yeah.
Big, tall, muscular, tight body, all those things. And Andrew was not a dummy. And he made personal decisions that were ridiculous. And it eventually took his life, had an effect on his life, ending prematurely. But as far as having a conversation with him or talking the business with him, things of that nature, Andrew was a very sharp guy. And Vince could pick up on that deal. He was well-spoken. And again, he checked every physical box. 6'6", 6'5", whatever he was, had a great body, looked good. But it's just, so Vince saw something. He saw something. I saw something when I signed him, but I just thought he needed a lot more polishing. That's all. That's not an insult. He's got to get better. Just get more reps. But yeah, Vince saw something in Test because Test checked all the boxes.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at savewithconrad.com.